Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Level Up Report, where we talk about gaming news, gaming trends, and anything gaming related. This is Ophenius and Stuff Kuma, also known as Kuma, and this week we're going to do something a little different, and we're going to talk about microtransactions, since that's everywhere in games. So, there's been a lot of negativity surrounding microtransactions, and personally for me, I thought at first that as long as it doesn't affect gameplay, then it would be okay. However, there's been a lot of cosmetics are okay kind of talk, and while that doesn't impact gameplay, I find that it seriously reduces my enjoyment of the game because honestly, looking cool in a game is a huge part of why I play games. Like if I can't show off like this thing that I got as an achievement, then what's the point? Because honestly, it's just for me to brag about, to be honest. But I think that cosmetics are not okay for me anymore because I don't feel like a sense of achievement. And I think that microtransactions have really damaged that, and you don't feel rewarded as much because when you look at games like free to play and everything, for example, Dauntless, which I've been trying for the past few days, I look at all the cosmetics that are locked off that I have to pay, and it's behind a paywall. And there's no sense of accomplishment when I just take out my wallet and credit card and just start buying it for a few dollars here and there, instead of doing something spectacular in a game and then being rewarded by looking cool. So, I want to hear your thoughts, Kuma, about microtransactions in general.
Mm, well, I haven't been really playing a lot of games until modern time, so comparing it to the past, it was a big change. In the past, all these outfits, you know, are unlockable within game. Those are your achievements that you were talking about. At the end of the day, you work hard, you look cool, you become strong. That microtransaction makes it easy for everyone to skip all that and jump right to the looking cool part, losing all that fun and hardworking efforts to achieve that. Um i feel like they oversaturated the genre, like the gaming industry, and it makes everyone, I don't know, it makes everyone
You guys a little
not work
antsy
hard.
and a little annoyed just whenever they hear microtransactions. It just gets people a little riled up.
Well, I don't blame them because they combine it with loot boxes. They make it into like a gambling system,
Right.
but you may not get what you want. Like even you could buy it, you may not be able to purchase what you actually want. There's a chance of getting what you want.
I think that chance is. It feels. I'll be honest, it feels really good. Just like gambling and then you get something amazing. But that's gambling addiction right there.
Hmm.
And I have a huge problem with that. Like personally, I used to spend a decent amount on Overwatch loot boxes, where I just had to force myself to stop because I just have to look at it and just say, what is the value of this? Like it's just a bunch of cosmetics that are digital and they can just disappear on anything. So
Yes, it's true.
it's really hard to fight that, and I get that. So it really paves way why this whole loot box legislation is so important for everyone, because if you it really needs to be mandated, and just like you said, companies like EA, especially EA, have just taken it way too far with like loot boxes in general, the prime thing. and it needs to be reinforced and controlled. But that's a fine line because it's going to be a slippery slope. What you're gonna decide what is acceptable and what isn't once you start taking it from there. I don't
Well, if
know. It's
only if only they could go back to the good old times when everything is within game. Because right now, all these microtransactions, these cosmetics, you're thinking like, what have they really removed from the game that it could have been in the original base game
right,
if
exactly.
you cheated? But I'm paying more money just to get the complete game. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and there's a good example of that. I think we talked about last week was in the last Deus Ex Mankind Divided game. There was microtransactions that you can buy skill points, which that's not okay. You're just buying progression, and it's something I noticed again when we were playing Dauntless over the weekend. Is they have this bundle that lets you skip levels, which why? It's just obviously just a time skip, but it just takes away the fun because it's just, which is okay. I'm not going to tell you to spend your time however much or spend your money wherever, but it just feels scummy when it's just like, here, have 15 levels skipped for you. It just it just hands you levels. I don't know,
Hmm.
it just feels scummy to me. But it just brings me into talking about what I've just been seeing a lot more is battle passes. Battle passes in Fortnite, battle passes in PUBG. There's battle passes in Dauntless for some reason. I don't understand why, because that's a purely cooperative game.
That's true. You're right about that. That's true. Maybe it's a way to trick people. If you think about it, if everyone just buy each cosmetic individually, it might add up to be way more than the battle pass will cost. Battle pass will give you all the cosmetic for that season only. Like, remember how you would talk about the Dead or Alive? How if you buy everything, it's into the thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, they are
So
seriously. I don't even know nickel and diming is the right word for it. It's by the
they
thousands at that point.
they know people like to change the outfit or the looks of their character, and they take advantage of it way too much. I mean, I understand that in the past there's only X amount of costume. Maybe for example, maybe 20 within the base game. It's always been 20. So the next game, like a next edition of the game, they figure, okay, maybe we will make more. Go make up to 50 of it. We could still gonna give them 20, maybe, possibly 20, if not 10. But the rest of them, we're gonna have them pay for it. They know that we want more, but they
Right.
don't want to put it in the game. They want to make more money by selling it to us. And what's worse, again, like I mentioned before, make it randomized, gamble it in the loot box. You may not get this. You may get a repeatable, a repeatable costume.
Well, they had to change it because in Overwatch for the longest time you can get duplicates in it, and people were really steamed about it, and I was too because I can open like 40 loot boxes and then I get duplicates like 5 times, and the returns for it for the in-game currency was so terrible. And it's still bad, honestly. But they finally started turning things around, like for those like not having duplicates and such, but it's still bad.
True, you're
It's
right.
still
They
bad.
did, yeah, they did. Eventually made it that you can't get duplicates in certain games.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but I think just talking about like the loot box law that's trying to be established right now, I think that companies are definitely steering away from loot boxes in general because it's such a negative thing to say. and just to think about.
Well, I don't know about that. These companies are really big. They needed to make money. They're used to it. They're gonna hire a lot of lobbyists to fight it. This is not the first time that a senator or person in politics have like had issue with it. The first one that I heard of was this guy in Hawaii that announced that loot boxes is gambling.
Oh, right. Okay. That
Yeah,
was
he was
because
the first
of
guy.
Battlefront 2, the new one.
Yeah, he was the first guy that made that announcement and tried to like pass a law, and it was put under the carpet. it the companies are just way too powerful. They fought it and it disappeared. No one talked about it ever since. Now that they bring in children, this law for the senator was you should not allow gambling towards vulnerable children because that's just
Right.
wrong. Because think about you had to be 21 to gamble in most
Mm-hmm.
states, I believe, in the United States. So they have other laws in place that will affect gaming. So now they're using that as a means to pass this law again, this rule about loot box and microtransaction. So we'll see what the gaming company would do. They need the money. They powerful. They used to the billions of dollars, millions of dollars, whatever figure that is, and they're gonna fight hard. We'll see what will happen.
Yeah.
They're making noise. I just know that some European countries did have some regulation in place. Like I
Oh,
know
yeah.
that EA.
They're starting to ban these practices, and they're
I know that
more,
EA had to change
yeah,
some of their games, like their sports games, like the football games. They
like
had to change it
FIFA and
completely.
everything. Yeah.
They had to change it completely just so they could like at least publish and release a game in that country. So, America just gotta follow suit,
Or maybe
and
they should
just
lead by example.
lead by example.
I
Well,
know it's hard.
we live in a capitalist uh, um, society, and like U.S. is known for that. So I figure, hey, we might just make another development and the microtransaction field instead of going backwards. We're gonna go forward. I know they're gonna post something out their ass to make more money. I just know it.
Yeah.
hmm But I can't blame America. They are inspired by the Asian society. Like most of these practices come from mobile gaming, cell
Like
phone.
gotcha kind of games,
hmm
like
And just
randomized things, whatever you
hmm
get. Yeah, I've
and
played those.
there's not much complaints in Asia about it. I don't hear much in the news.
Yeah, it sounds more
It's
accepted.
more, yeah, at least in phone, like mobile gaming, at least. And it's
Right.
funny because like kids have access to phones, a lot of them. So much easier to like, get tricked into purchasing this. It's just a couple buttons, couple swipes, and kids are really easily influenced. They get addicted to gaming, and with that practice, maybe addicted in general, in that kind of gambling practices.
Yeah.
And you could see it happening in America. The Facebook games. There
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of reports of the kids are just, you know, destroying their parents' credit card, and the parents does not know nothing about it. Because they just hand them an iPad, like, here you go, have some fun, leave me alone. Next thing
Yep.
you know, a huge bill come,
And they're
and
wondering why.
I think Facebook did get some like bad rep because of that, and they're making changes for on that front.
I didn't hear too much about that, but yeah,
Face
it's a
Facebook is
very
another big company.
if
I'm
it,
sure they
yeah,
have a lot of people shutting everything down.
they've got a lot of problems right now, but they don't need to add this to the list of
Hmm.
problems they're dealing with. But I actually wanted to talk about what do you think the next trend of microtransactions is going to be? Because we've had things like season passes and then loot boxes, and then actually, I'd say battle passes are the new thing.
Battle Pass.
Hmm.
Battle Pass is just a combination of everything
Right.
per season. We
Actually,
did have
I do think that since there's been a rumor that Ubisoft is doing a new subscription model,
subscription model.
so they'll have I'm guessing it'll be like similar to EA or Xbox, where you'll have an access to their games for however much a month, and you can upgrade to like a premium tier, and then get more stuff to it. Which I think that's what a lot of companies are pushing for right now, just the subscription model.
So you talking about streaming games on the platform,
It doesn't
like
have to be streaming
Netflix?
games. Yeah, it's similar to that. Like you'll have access to the platform
Hmm.
and what they offer.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So like here, this is the base product. You get maybe 10 games. If you want more games, you gotta pay me more money.
Hmm.
Maybe a dollar per extra game or something like that.
Maybe.
Huh. Okay.
I'm thinking that's the way forward for them because the last like subscription model that I experienced was EA's Access, whatever it's called, just to play Anthem, and that was like, here you get 20 plus games for a month, and here you go. But
Oh, okay. Because I also signed up for that just to play Anthem, but I didn't really test around with other games. So they only allow you to play 20 games within,
it was
excuse me, that
however many,
period.
but they gave you a
Okay.
wide variety of it. So you're
Okay.
like, okay, it's like this
Interesting.
is a lot of bang for my buck kind of like thinking.
Okay.
Like I'm
That's interesting.
assuming that people think.
But does that also exclude a microtransaction within those games?
No,
No. So I'm sure they'll still take a piece of the pie because it's within their platform. Like if you buy something that's microtransaction-y in that game on their platform, they get a piece of it.
I feel like it would be triple dipping because
Triple dipping.
there's got season passes still exists, then you
Mhm.
got the microtransactions, and then you've got like these subscription models.
Hmm. Well, no, no. I mean, it sounds familiar to what Sony was doing with Fortnite, how they didn't allow crossplay, because they're afraid all that microtransaction will be taken elsewhere. If they
Mm,
make it stick to one platform, Sony platform, they, capitalize on all those money
right.
instead of having it open to all other, consoles and platforms. They will lose money. Hmm. Okay.
So I think just in conclusion, just microtransactions aren't going anywhere.
No, they're
It's
not.
it's a slippery slope that people's tolerance of these things will just keep lowering, and unless there's a huge pushback like with the Star Wars Battlefront 2 and the loot box thing, I think it's just going to be more dangerous as time goes on unless you really are actively trying to look out for that stuff and be aware of it. And I think if you can do that, then you can avoid, you know, spending way more money than you need to on these kinds of things and games in general.
Well, all I could foresee for the future is probably some regulation on what games is allowed to have microtransaction or loot boxes, depending on who get access to it. Rated M games would definitely 100% will have microtransaction. Any games that's kids could play, that's allowed to play, easy access to, will not have it if the law will be passed in the United States.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But
And they should change the name. Whoever coined microtransaction is so wrong. It's not micro at all. It costs
oh
so
no.
much money.
He
I
put
think
he pays so much.
I, I think they should just keep it transaction.
Just transactions.
Just transaction, not micro transaction.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But that's gonna do it for our topic for this week. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, and let me know what we can improve on. And we'll be back with some more content in the next coming weeks. So, thank you guys.